Mr. Friend says, I think I'm gonna miss this. I have to take my dad shopping again. I'll try to watch later. Oh, thank you. Please say hello to your dad for me. My name is Robin, reporting live from Ontario, Canada. It is 8:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm starting a little early today because I have to run out after, and it's a big rainstorm and a big thunderstorm, and I am worried that the power is going to go out again and it's going to mess with my internet connection as one of the last live streams did. I've got, hold on, let's see if you could see it. I've got my singing. Hey, Mr. Friend. Oh, you're here for a few minutes. How are you? I wanted to tell you that I finished that book and thank you very much. I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for that book. I finished it. Hey, Lauren's here too. Yay. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren, Mr. Friend's here, but he's not staying for too long. Guys, can you let me know if you can hear this? Yes. Let me know if you can hear this. Oh, yay. Hey, Kenneth Ford is here. Oh my gosh. I can't tell you how happy I am to see your names, folks. Oh, you can hear it. Great. We got Lauren, we got Mr. Friend, we got Kenneth Ford. Folks, today's live stream, what I was thinking, I know Mr. Friend doesn't have a lot of time this morning. Oh, look, they're all saying hello to each other. This is such a beautiful community. I was thinking this live stream, we could say the things that we need to hear. Like where we can write in the chat, like, what is it that you need to hear right now? Because I imagine that a lot of other people need to hear it. Do you need to hear that maybe the challenge that you're in is not good or bad, but it's data, it's information. It's information to help you understand the circumstances or what you have to do next or to make a decision. Oh, great. Kenneth Ford says, I posted some big pots in the community. Oh, I love that. I can't wait to see that. I'm definitely going to take a peek later today. I have to run out after this live stream. So I thought I checked the community this morning. I didn't see anything new. So hopefully I get to see that today. Mr. Friend says, it's okay to fail. I love that. And I don't think failure is failure unless we just let it stop us from trying again. You know what I mean? I was thinking about failure and mistakes and the things that have happened and the things that, you might typically regret. And I realized that all of those things actually led to something else. Feeling like you're in rock bottom, feeling like you're failing is actually later on in hindsight, sometimes the catalyst that makes you make a change, make a decision, decide something new, stop doing something, start doing something. I do think like these challenges, oh, hold on, I've got a different thing that I'm using today. I want to see if it's going to follow me. I'm supposed to be able to move and it follows me. How cool is that? Let's see. We've got, is it Oh Hi One Star says, can I see your tattoo? Oh my God. I am not brave enough to have a tattoo. I'm a wimp, first of all, and I have a scarring problem, so I can't have tattoos anyway. My name's Robin, reporting live. I would love for you to write in the comments what it is that you need to hear. What is it that you need to hear? Mr. Friend was kind enough to put a good one on there, which is that it's okay to fail. And I would add to it that it's only a failure if you just let it stop you from trying in the future. That's the only time it's a failure. If not, it's information, it's data, it's a life lesson that you can later on use as a story of your resilience, as a story of how you overcame it, a story of what you learned, how to be more compassionate to others. Some of my biggest mistakes and failures have been literally like the catalyst to this new side of myself, this change that I had to make, this hard decision that I was forced into. When things are just average and mediocre, nobody changes anything. You almost need rock bottom, failure, something to happen. I mean, not everybody. Some people can learn from inspiration, and I've had that too. I've learned out of inspiration and curiosity instead of waiting for things to go so terribly wrong that it forces me out of it. I've actually learned from, becoming more observant and realizing like, hey, if I stay here, this is going to turn me into them. And I didn't want that. So I learned not from hitting rock bottom, but from just understanding that my life will look like theirs if I don't make a change. And I didn't want that. So please tell me, oh, look, we've got Pete. We've got someone that says hi. Hi, is it G Saki? And then we've got Pete. Bahal 11 says, processing childhood trauma at age 40. Thank you for being here. I've never seen your name. Wow, that's really incredible. I'm glad that you shared that because I think, you know, many of us go through childhood trauma, and trauma looks different from everyone. They say there's big T and little t, but I mean, we can't say, oh, my trauma's worse than yours or you had it really bad. Like, there are some really, really tough things that people go through in childhood, and then it just we carry it with us through adulthood. And then we live with that lens, but we were only children when that happened. So it's like, how can we decide as a child what this means? Sometimes we develop this whole identity or an understanding about something that happened in our childhood, and we take that definition that we assigned to it when we were kids and we didn't know better, and we carry it with us for the rest of our lives. So I have become very, very good through experience and time and energy and effort at reframing challenges, reframing the things that happened to me, the story I used to tell myself, reframing it to a more empowering story that helps me triumph over it and overcome it and see it for what it was, something that I had to overcome. And now I'm more compassionate to others because of it. I'm more understanding. I'm more forgiving. Like, we can use these childhood traumas as a reason to stay stuck, or we can use it as fuel and a story later on in life of how we overcame it and we succeeded anyway as a result of it. So it really is up to us. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here. We've got, oh, wait. There was something that I missed. Kenneth Ford says, you have to go through that, you have to go through that to get to this. Absolutely. Like I said, any challenge that I have ever faced in my lifetime, embarrassment, shame, mistakes, poor choices, I've done it all. So I never want anyone to think that these live streams are me positioning myself as an expert that has everything perfect in their life. That doesn't exist, folks. There is no such thing as perfect. Nobody on the internet is perfect. Nobody on TV or famous people or all the people that you see living a life that you may wish you want, there's a whole side to it that you don't see. So it's really important not to put anyone on a pedestal, but we can learn from them. So I love that you wrote that, Kenneth Ford. We do have to go through these things. They do make us stronger if we don't let it break us. And there will be moments when we feel like it's breaking us. Keep going, keep trying. Let's see. Oh, one star says, can you create a place where we all can talk and have a lot of things and feelings to express? Yeah, that's what I hope these live streams are. Hey, we got George says good morning and hi. Yeah, absolutely. That's what these live streams are. They're a place where you guys get a voice. I read every single name and comment. Thankfully, I'm in a position where, like, I know ideally we want to do live streams, and right now I've got 8 people watching, it says. And, in a perfect world, we want to have like hundreds of people watching and listening. But the reality is, if that happened, I wouldn't be able to read your name and comments, and I wouldn't be able to give you a voice. So it's almost like kind of cool that we have this small community right now where everyone gets to write something, we read your name and comments, and we talk through it on a live stream. So this is the place where you can express your feelings and your thoughts, and we talk through it in real time. So let's see. Oh, maybe like a GC. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. Hey, June says facts in all caps. Thank you for being here. G Saki says, rich people have always such beautiful teeth. Oh, you're so sweet. I have very crooked bottom teeth. And I love that you wrote rich people. It's very easy to look at someone's life and assume things. My name is Robin, reporting live from Ontario, Canada. And if you were to decide if somebody was rich by numbers, then, I'm not that. But if you were to decide if somebody was rich through love, hope, possibility, opportunities, just, a wealth of love and abundance, then I am like the richest person I know. So it's really easy to look at someone's life and say things, but hey, if teeth are important to you, then one day you're going to have great teeth. Maybe you already have it. So I love that. Oh, look, Pete says, I appreciate the kind words. Likewise. What's your approach to chat trolls? G. Saki says, oh, well, you must be new to this comment section because I get a handful of, I don't want to call them trolls and I don't want to call them haters. I get a handful of people occasionally that are hurting and they say really mean things in the comments. And if you've ever been on my live stream long enough, you'll see that other people's comments don't hurt my feelings. Strangers' comments can't hurt me. They'll only hurt me as much as I allow it to. So I've been told that I look like a man. I've been told I'm a grandma. I've been told all kinds of things. And we've actually talked through those people's comments. And if you stayed on the live stream long enough, we've had people that came on really hating and then they start opening up about something they're struggling with. And we've watched them go from hating to subscribing and sharing, and we talk through it. And then the people in the comments that they were mean to originally start rooting for them. And we've seen transformation in real time on these live streams, and it's been really beautiful. So that's how I handle people that are hurting in the comments. I won't call them trolls. I can't. GC means, oh, group chat. Okay, thank you for telling me. Yeah, absolutely, group chat. I'm looking at something that I want to research and start working on because I've developed the skill of being able to reframe people's challenges in real time and help them see something more productive that can help elevate them and take them out of that mindset that they were in that kept them stuck. I want to pursue that more and see how I could use that to help others because it's been a very transformative process for me in my life and being able to create the things that I want and do the things that I want to do and continue to progress. So I want to definitely talk about that. But this live stream, these live streams that I schedule, they are for that purpose, to be involved in the group chat. This isn't me talking to a camera, telling you how to think and feel. I'm a regular person. We're just sharing along as we go. I know some very wealthy, miserable people. Pete says, we've got Tim that says, hi, absolutely. There are miserable people that have everything at their fingertips, and there are miserable people, or excuse me, there are happy people that have very little. So I don't think that, I think money, this is my personal opinion, I think having more money will just magnify the type of person you already are. So if you really always notice the bad in the world and people are annoying, no one knows how to drive, everyone's stupid. When you get more money, you're just gonna be annoyed on a bigger scale. But if you are someone that looks for beauty, likes to help others, offers kindness, and you get more money, then you're gonna learn more things and you're gonna reinvest that money into learning and helping others, and not necessarily helping others by just handing out money all the time, but helping them with information, helping them with guidance, doing kind gestures for others. Like, I think money just magnifies what you already are. So if you can work on that, then when you do get the money, which you will be in such a beautiful place to enjoy it. So I love that you wrote that, Pete. That's such a good point. I like your confidence. Do you talk like a news? Oh, yeah. You talk like a newscaster. I've heard that before. Because I like to say like, hey, it's 8:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Robin reporting live. Maybe I was a newscaster in my previous life, if that's a real thing. I don't know, but I love that. Hey, Nicolas Cage is here. I got an XO from Nicolas Cage. We got Tim Nicholas says hi. Oh, that's nice. Nicolas Cage says hi. Mr. Friend says, Robin handles every comment with grace. Oh, you're so sweet, Mr. Friend. And I love that you wrote that because I've got a lot of cool people in this community too that they don't like it when people say mean things to me. And I love that about you because it just makes me feel like you're looking out for me. So that's beautiful. She really handles them well, Kenneth Ford says. I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than an old broken car, to be honest. Absolutely, for sure. Listen, I would rather not have to cry in anything, but if I had to live like an average life in terms of financial average or a really wealthy life, but I didn't have anyone to trust, I didn't feel fulfilled, I didn't feel good about myself and what I was doing. Let's say you were doing something that wasn't good to get that money, for example. I would much prefer personally, and this isn't for everyone, I would prefer to cry in a regular Toyota then. I don't need a Ferrari, but not cry. What I'm saying is that sometimes we think like the mansion is gonna make you feel better and the beautiful car is gonna make you feel better, but I think maybe we should be striving for the emotions. I wrote something in my journal. I wrote a number in my journal, and when I got to that number, I realized that it wasn't a number that I was aiming for. It was actually a feeling. I wanted to feel a feeling of freedom, of peace of mind. I wanted to feel fulfilled. But I wrote a number thinking this number, when I get to this number, you know, everything would be great. And that's not true, folks. I think it's actually feelings and emotions that we're looking for. It's not a number in our bank account. It's an actual emotion, contentment, excitement, love. Let's see. Oh says, have you ever helped anyone financially? I wouldn't call it help, but I've absolutely given, but I don't know, like nothing, no change, like life-changing amounts where they're gonna buy a car or anything. I don't have capacity to do that. I hope one day I do. I hope one day I do have, and I trust I will, have more financial capacity to do more financial goodness. The goodness that I tend to do in the world is a little bit related to finances, but mostly related to effort and time and intention. So start there. Even if you don't have money to give, you can give with kind words, kind gestures, helping hands, things like that. But don't feel like you have to say yes to everything either, folks. You don't have to always be the one helping if you don't have capacity to do it in the moment either. Pete says, well said, I'm trying to develop those. Yeah, rose-colored glasses. When my glasses go too dark, oh, they go real dark. Pete, I love that you wrote that. You sound very self-aware, which I think is beautiful. If we could become just self-aware of how we think, we don't have to beat ourselves up when we're in a negative spiral loop. That happened to me this week too. I had a situation where I was like losing a little bit of sleep in the morning, thinking about all the things I had to do. And it just means you care, folks. Like maybe when we're overthinking something, we should kind of reassign that meaning to like, hey, it means I really care about this. It means I'm very passionate about this. And this is very important to me. So instead of worrying about it, I'm going to take a couple actionable steps, either to be more prepared, to do better, to learn about it. We have to flip that worry and that low confidence feeling, or like you said, that dark side, and flip it into something more productive for ourselves. When I was younger, I had a job, and a very prominent person in the company told me that I had rose-colored glasses, and at the time I was like in my early 20s. I didn't really get what it meant. And I realize now that those rose-colored glasses serve me quite well, because I can sit here today and tell you that most people are good. And I actually interact with hundreds of people a week. If you count everything I do, I interact, not necessarily live in person, but I interact with hundreds of people a week through my job and through this. And I can tell you that most people are good. They really are. Most people want the same things: health, happiness, love, financial peace of mind. It's the basics. So I really think it's important to look for the good in the world. I have a common saying that you probably won't hear. This will be your first time, but it's when you look for the good, you become part of it. When we start actively looking for the good, we literally become part of it. We contribute to it. Mr. Friend says, I'd rather not cry at all. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Friend. I'd rather not cry at all. But sometimes those tears, again, they force you to look at something that maybe you haven't been looking at. Maybe, when we're feeling really low, or we're like, what's happening next, or feeling hopeless, it actually is a signal to us that we haven't been thinking the right things, or there's a new thought that we can get to, a new idea, something else we can learn. Like, it's hard in the moment to see that and think that, but we can. We got Dirt says, is it Dirt? Dirt Claude Cracker says, good morning, good morning. Mr. Friend says, I have to go. Oh, have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Friend. I'm glad that you were here for this small moment. Pete says, oh, I subscribed and hope to see you all soon. Yeah, I cry in my Toyota all the time. Oh, love from Oklahoma. And I hope that smoke dissipates soon. Oh, thank you, Pete. Yeah, I hope so too. It's been tough here with that, with the smoke and stuff from the wildfires. And it's so sad that people are going through that. I have a Toyota myself. And Pete, I'm glad you're here. Just know that those tears aren't wasted. Those tears aren't wasted. They do actually lead to something else. Just Keep looking for it. Keep trying. Never give up hope. Kenneth Ford says, when I was 25, I lived in an 800 square foot house and I dreamed of a big house. Now I'm a little older with a 4 bedroom and long for an easy, clean, small house. Oh my God, Kenneth. I love that you wrote that. Absolutely. I think we end up complicating our own lives sometimes. And I think we have these ideas of what we think is luxury and a life well lived. And we realized it's a little bit harder to manage than we thought, right? And I think the same thing too. I'm starting to think about my future. Do we want to downsize in the future? Do we want to get like a little condo and just travel? Or do we want to buy some land and kind of have more privacy? I don't know what the future looks like. But I do think it's important to be mindful that some of the things that society has kind of implanted us into thinking a good life looks like, it's not. And it's gonna look different for everyone. I love that you wrote that, Kenneth. Sasha says hello. We got Carmichael says, you look like Marina Mabry. Oh, I don't know who that is, but thank you. I'm glad you're here. Dominic says, when did word self-aware become so popular? I'm not sure. But one thing I've noticed is that becoming more self-aware has become a really beautiful thing. And it's not so I can judge myself for my mistakes or praise myself for the good areas. It's just to help understand me more and what areas I need to work on and what thoughts have been really helpful for me and what things I need to step away from. You know, that know thyself. Have you ever heard that? Like, know thyself, you know, get to know yourself. And I think when we get to know ourselves, we can offer more grace and compassion to other people, and our relationships get stronger because we're not like, we understand that perfection doesn't exist. We all have our flaws, and I think that it's really a beautiful thing. So I'm not sure when that word became popular. Our mindful count, yeah, is really low today, Robin. Oh, our mindful count is really low. Oh, hi, 1 star says, I really wish we could talk in a DM. Oh, because I'm struggling with some things that are really bad. Oh, and can't say in public. Absolutely. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. And I'm gonna figure out a way to offer that to people, the reframing especially, because that's what helped me the most. I've had a lot of challenges too, some that I share online here and others that I don't share about. Maybe one day I will, or maybe I keep them private, but I've absolutely been there. And I know that reframing these circumstances and things that happen to me to help me understand have truly helped me overcome it. And I would love to offer that to people as well. So I'm gonna figure that out, okay? Let's see, stuff will never make you happy. Ah, Dirt Clod Cracker says stuff, as in, yeah, material possessions. Listen, I think material possessions are great in the beginning. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we have a really old car that's like rusting out that we need a new one. And I know that when we get that new car, I'm gonna really appreciate it because we've been driving old cars for so many years. My husband's car window, like, that's how you have to wind it up. It's a 2005. You know, my car doesn't have a sunroof, the Bluetooth doesn't work, you know, all that stuff. So one day when I get a new car, it's gonna be great. But that new car isn't gonna feel great if I'm sitting in it with people that I don't trust, or we're fighting all the time, or, you know, I've got nothing in common. Like, I think that the people and the relationships and our thoughts and the way we get to live our everyday lives, that's number one for happiness. I absolutely believe that. So I love that you wrote that. Kenneth Ford said mindful. Yeah. Oh, drink. Yeah. Anytime we say mindful, we got to take a shot of coffee because it's morning here. Are you a mom? Yes, I am. I'm a mom of a 14-year-old boy who is lovely, but that teenage years, I'll tell you, is a little bit more harder for me. When my son was young, I didn't have to work full time. I only worked part time. So I was really involved with being a mom. That was like the thing. And I loved it. And my son and I had a beautiful relationship. But as boys, maybe I shouldn't say this, but my example is, you know, as the boy gets older, they lean more towards their father. And, you know, sometimes those teenagers can be a little bit tough. So that's what I'm navigating right now. And I'm grateful that we have a loving household. Like, my husband's a very loving man. We have a loving household. You know, the relationships, maintaining the close relationship is a priority. So sometimes I have to force it. I'm like, forcing us to do family things. And then it ends up being really fun and great. So I think life will always go through these little challenges. Whatever situation you're in right now, if it's great, enjoy it. But nothing is really permanent. Things do keep changing and evolving. So I'm just kind of in the middle of that. But I do have a son. Yeah. So again, my name is Robin, reporting live. If there's something that you need to hear right now in the comments, share it, because I think a lot of people need to hear it. I think I need to hear that, all the things that I'm learning and doing are, there's something bigger, there's a bigger purpose for it. And every challenge that I'm going through is helping me learn a lesson that I get to come back here on these live streams. Some of it I get to talk about, some of it are confidential, because they could be related to something and I've signed and it's confidential, right? But anything I learn, I get to bring it back here in my vlogs, in the live streams, creating videos, creating I have the 14 Days to an Abundant Mindset, quotes, all that stuff. I love this creative expression. And it's not just, hey, look at me, there's a selfie of like a pouty face selfie. No offense. Listen, if that's the stuff you do, no offense. I'm not trying to judge people for that. But my content isn't about, look at me, I know everything, I'm so cute. I need you to know that the purpose of this is to evolve. This helps me evolve too. The purpose of this is to share the things we're learning along the way to see if it could help others. So, oh look, I love this. Dirt Claude, I hope I get to see your name in the next live streams. You've added a lot of value here as well. When I'm happy, it seems to come from good decision making. Okay. What a beautiful statement that is. Good decision making is what makes you happy. I love that. I love that. I feel like maybe that's what we should write, folks. What makes you happy? Write that in the comments. If you're comfortable sharing what makes you happy, I'd love to read your name and comment out loud on this channel. Everyone gets a voice here. Write in the name and comment, what makes you happy? What is it that makes you happy? Because I do think it looks different for everyone. And again, I shared that there was a number that I wrote a few years ago in my journal. This number, I won't say more than, it was a number that represented something I wanted. And when I got to that number, I realized, crap, I should have wrote a feeling, an emotion, fulfillment, joy, freedom. That's what I wanted, not this number. Because when I got to that number, I didn't actually feel all those feelings, but I got to the number. So I would encourage people to kind of revisit what your idea of success looks like. Revisit what it means to be happy. Because sometimes when we overcomplicate our lives with the mansions and the fancy cars, my role, again, I can't say too much, but I see a lot of things in my role. And one thing I've noticed is that people that have the biggest houses and the most cars, they're not always the happiest, but they are still happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to trash talk wealth. But what I am saying is that aim for the emotion. Aim for the emotion. Do you want like a lot of laughter in your life, a lot of joy? Do you want to see new places? Like, let that be your goal as opposed to the cars, the mansion, the dollar value. Let me see. Oh, hi. I hope I'm saying your name right. Oh, hi. 1 star says, okay, if you don't mind, can you help me financially? I don't actually need much. I just want to pay off a little debt, please. Don't judge or think I'm begging. I'm usually not like this. Absolutely. Listen, you got to shoot your shot. I'm not somebody that's going to, when the time comes that I can help financially, I will I will go to the people that are directly in my life first. The ones that I've known for years that are great people that maybe made some interesting choices in life and are realizing it's not the right choice. Those are the people I'm going to help first. So, but listen, shoot your shot. But one thing I would tell you is if you want to pay off a little debt, put it out into the universe that I am going to learn as many skills as I can using the internet, using the library for free, so I can increase my value and I can become more wealthy myself and pay off my own debt. I would always encourage people to look inwards for the answers as opposed to outside. When we look outside for the answers to our problems, we're always going to be looking. But when we look inwards and we take responsibility and we learn as much as we can to become more valuable, the world is your oyster. There's limitless possibilities for you. Kenneth Ford says, creating makes me happy. Oh, whether it's a solution to a problem or just creating something that didn't exist before, can be, streamlining a business process or making a cup of coffee. I love that. Oh, I love that. Augusto says, love from Brazil. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Hi, Brazil. Kenneth, I love that. Creating makes me happy as well, folks. I do think humans and grown-ups are meant to be creative. Like animals are meant to hunt and procreate and all those basic things. But humans, we have the capacity to build and create, like you said, make something that didn't exist before. So I don't necessarily think all adults have to have a hobby of creating content, live streaming. It all has to be public. I don't think it has to be public what we're doing. Hold on, let's see if this thing's still on. But I do think that grown-ups need hobbies. And when you have a hobby of something, a creative expression of yourself, whether it's art or dancing to music, it doesn't have to be public. I promise you, you'll feel better. I've been doing a lot of dancing in my house. I've never taken a dance class, but I put my headphones on. I have like a playlist that makes me want to like dance. And I can't tell you how like great I feel after that. Like nobody's seeing it. I've never put a dancing video on my channel. I'm not that type that dances in front of the camera. I just do it for fun, for my own personal time. And I'll tell you, it's so energizing. It makes me feel amazing. I do think we have to have those things that make us feel good and keep returning to them as adults, or else we get caught up in work, family, and a lot of people are just scrolling or on Netflix. And it's great to have downtime, but create something first. Maybe that's a goal. Before I'm allowed to have my downtime and mindlessly scroll, although I don't recommend mindless scrolling. I recommend being intentional with everything you watch on this channel. I always say that. But I do recommend having a hobby. Maybe that's some of the stuff that we should write down. Let's see. Oh, hi, says, is it? Of course, I've tried that. I've learned editing and got clients, that paid. So I've been using it to pay off my debt. What remains is about 100. Oh, but if you can help with 50, I'll be all right. And don't get angry. Absolutely. You won't ever see me get angry on a live stream. But again, hey, if you're $50 away or $100 away, that's incredible. You are so close. I wouldn't even call that a debt. You can have that paid off in a month, not even. So yeah, friends, again, I do think one of the things that helped me in my life was taking radical responsibility for everything. Like I was listening to someone, his name was Tom Bilyeu, many years ago, and he said, everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. And he even used the example of like, and I know people aren't gonna like this, but if he crossed the street and something happened, he got hit by a car, he would take responsibility for that. Yes, obviously it's the car's fault if they were in the right, but he said that he would always take responsibility because what he does next is the most powerful thing. You can sit in the hospital bed and blame, or you can sit in the hospital bed and really try to focus on your healing and health and use that as a catalyst for something. Maybe it was meant to slow you down a little bit. Maybe you were moving too fast and you needed a break, and getting sick and forcing you to just lay in one spot gave you time to reflect. I mean, there's always two ways of looking at things, folks. So if you are ever looking at something, an example in your life, and only seeing it in one way, maybe ask yourself, is there another way that I could look at this circumstance? A more empowering way to help me solve this problem? Because that's what that reframing is. And part of me believes that this reframing is going to be really important in the future. People are going to start realizing how important it is to reframe what's going on in their life currently and in the past. That's been like one of the biggest game changers for me. And I know that it would help others. So I'm going to figure out a way to do this, and we can, radical responsibility is a good strategy for work. Absolutely, Kenneth Ford says. Radical responsibility. Everything's my fault. Even if it comes to me last minute, it's somebody else's problem. If it crossed my path, it means I'm meant to help. There was a situation that I had not too long ago. I shared bits and pieces of it, that a problem came my way, and it was very, very, very serious. And it was somebody else's problem, but it's part of my job to solve problems. And I lost sleep. in tears. The client was in tears, crying on the phone for an hour. Like, it was just heartbreaking. And I did everything I could to help these people, and I used my spare time, everything. And although it was really, really hard in the moment, once things started working out and we got the answers and the steps, it's not solved yet. It's a big, big deal. But I realized, like, hey, if somebody else got that problem for those people, would they have done everything that I did to try to help? So sometimes, like, these problems that come our way, it's because we, somewhere inside us, have the equipment and tools to solve it. So you have to almost ask yourself, if this is my problem right now, it means that I have something inside me that can solve it. So look for that. Look for that solution. Kenneth Ford says, it's a breath of fresh air opposed to this isn't my problem crowd. Yeah, I know. You know what's interesting? Again, I wish I could say more. One day I will, but I don't know how I can say it without saying too much. But there are people who give out my work number when something comes their way, and they're like, oh, I don't know, it must be Robin, Robin, and they just give out my number. And so I will get the call after, and I realize quickly that I can't help them either. I can't even access this file. It's completely not in my department. But I cannot tell somebody on the phone, hey, it's not me, you've called the wrong number. I can't. I will spend half an hour to 45 minutes trying to find the person that can help these people. I will not let anyone that crosses my path. Again, it doesn't mean I'm handing out money, folks. Like, I have boundaries too. I can't just like accept anything that comes my way. But if there is a situation like this, I will always, it becomes my problem. I will solve it, at least guide them to the right person. I can't just let them hang up the phone and go, hey, it's not me. And that part's hard on me. It actually takes up a lot of time and energy out of me, but I think it's good karma. I think it's good karma, folks. I think it's good karma to do right by other humans. It has a way of coming back to you. Hey, is that our friend Tom? Everything is my fault. Everything good that happens is due to me. Hey, Tom, I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen your name in so long. Welcome back. Let me see. Dirk Klaus says, I pretty much used Tom's argument with my counselor. My counselor said I might be a little hard on myself. I said, maybe taking responsibility looks like being hard on myself. Ooh, I love that you wrote that. I think that there's a fine line too. I think we don't want to take responsibility in an accusatory way and in a blame and shameful way, but sometimes a little bit of that helps us take the next steps, right? So I do think it's important to be slightly hard on yourself, but not hard on yourself where you're beating yourself down. So it depends on what hard on yourself looks like, right? You don't want to be laying in bed all day because you feel like you made a mistake and you're a terrible person. But if you lose a little bit of sleep and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that or whatever, then you look for solutions to your own problems. And then that's where that taking responsibility really serves you well. I love that. Tom says, always late. Hey, no, you're busy, Tom. You got some things to do. That's cool. I'm just glad you're here. I haven't seen your name on a live stream for so long. So I'm glad that you're here. Let's see, how or what would you define yourself as? Oh, I love this question, because one thing I don't do, or I'm trying not to, is have a label. You know, I've been asked on this channel, well, what religion are you? Or what's your spiritual belief? And I love to just say what I think, and then I'll let the labels, like, you can label it. I don't know how to label it. I'm not sure right now. Maybe it's something important that I have to figure out. What do I call myself? Well, I did do a coaching certificate last year because I wanted to be better prepared for these live streams and handle some of the things that come up in the chat, because some things are very heavy in the chat. So I did do a coaching certification, but that's not my real job. But I do feel like sometimes we put these labels and we put these little boxes. We put ourselves in a box. Oh, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, or whatever they're called. It turns out I think I'm a little bit of both because when I enjoy people and talking, I can talk to strangers, no problem. I can network or whatever it's called. But then I just want to be alone after that. Like, I genuinely need to be alone. I recharge alone in my own thoughts by myself. As much as I love my family, I like to be alone. I always make sure I schedule days that we don't schedule anything. No guests coming over. We need time to regroup here. And so I don't know. Does that mean I'm an extrovert or introvert? Or maybe like I don't need to have a label. I think humans are so complex. So we do have to be careful with labels. So, the way we define ourselves, because sometimes we stay stuck in that. When I was younger, I wasn't good at math and spelling, and admittedly, I'm still not good at that. And I labeled myself as I wasn't intelligent because I thought smart people are good at math and spelling. And if you're not good at math and spelling, it means you're not smart. And I took that label or definition of myself and I carried it with me all through school, all through high school, in my early 20s. Robin's not smart. Robin's not smart. And it turns out that I'm very smart, just not in every single subject, right? I'm really smart. I'm very resourceful. I always find ways to figure things out. Even subjects that I'm not great with technology, but I'll still find a way to solve my technology problem. So I think resourcefulness is an underrated skill. And we have to be careful with those labels, man. I would have been in a way different situation had I not labeled myself as, I'm not smart when I was younger. And I was a kid when I came up with that definition. A lot of these things that we define ourselves by, we were kids. Someone told you, your voice is annoying, or someone told you, like, oh, you've got nothing good to say, or go sit in the corner. These things that people tell us when we're kids, we like let it define our character and our personality. And we were kids when we were told it. Like, we didn't even have the capacity to say, well, is this person living the life that I want? Like, what am I going to take? They made fun of me, but they don't have anything great going on. Why would I take their words and make it part of my identity? I just wish that we knew that when we were younger. I wish that people told young people, like, listen, you're going to hear a lot of things when you're younger. It doesn't mean it's true. You got to look at the life those people are living. Do you want to live like them? Like, do you want someone to tell you that you're stupid, but that person is in a miserable relationship fighting all the time? Well, there's a definition that I heard Naval Ravikant say that the measure of intelligence is, can you get what you want out of life? Can you design the life that you want? Can you get what you want out of life? That's how you know you're intelligent. Because you could be the smartest person in the world, but if you're living a crappy life and you hate everyone around you, or you're in a crappy relationship, then like, how smart are you? How smart are you really, right? So I love that. Let's see, Dirt Claude Cracker. What's your real name? I would love to know if you're comfortable writing it. Says, I don't like labels. Yeah, I got to be really mindful of labels. I don't have any political beliefs either, like in terms of red or green, whatever those colors and stuff. I know I'm a little bit ignorant to politics, and some people might say, well, you need to be more informed. But personally, I think that these extremes, like one extreme or the other, I don't know if humans are really that extreme. You might like a little bit from each, or you don't disagree, you disagree with this, but you kind of like this. Like, maybe it's okay to be somewhere in the middle. Like, maybe it's okay to have a variance of opinions in certain subjects. It's not all black and white. Like, that's okay. So I don't know. I think humans would be better served to say, like, I'm not sure. I don't have a label, or I don't have an opinion on that. We don't need to have an opinion on everything. We can't be up to date with every single news story that's happening. A lot of people that are following the news and everything that's going on in the world, their own household is falling apart. Their own relationships within their own home are falling apart, but they know everything about the green side or the blue and red side, whatever it's called. So I would say, take care of in here first. Take care of in here. Take care of your house first. Because when we work on ourselves, we become better people out in the world. And we could do better things, So I don't know. That's a bit of a rant, I guess. How or what would you, oh, no, wait. Oh, that's it. Folks, tell me, what is it that you would want to tell your younger self? Or what is it that you think you need to hear right now that other people might need to hear? Like, maybe people need to hear it's okay to not have an opinion on everything. You don't have to. You can watch a video and be mindful of the content that you're watching and listening to and following. I have shaped my algorithms to only show me things about creating content, about the brain, about neuroscience, understanding human behavior, editing as well. Lots of stuff. My whole YouTube feed is like all the things I'm interested in learning about, all the people that make me feel energized. So I would use your feed to feed your mind. That's from Dan Martell. Use your feed to feed your mind. Be very mindful of the short form content. There's another app that's all short form content that people do this on. Be very careful with that. It will, if you feel very drained after you've been scrolling or feel very blah after, I want you to flip that as a signal like, oh, you see this pattern? I just feel like consuming content. I don't feel like doing anything. I feel lazy after I scroll. Let that be an indicator to you to not do that anymore. Or maybe to recalibrate your feed and put things in that are making you feel energized. Maybe it's, new recipes or things about parenting or arts and crafts that you like or home decorating, right? Oh, we've got some more comments. Okay, let's see. Dirt Cloud says, my handle isn't negative. It comes from from metal detecting. Oh, okay, good. I didn't know that, so I appreciate you saying that. Dirt Cloud Cracker, I didn't know that. That's really cool. Oh, hi says, okay, should I send my Cash App to you? I also kind of like that your chats are not toxic, and they're not toxic because, yeah, they were the chat. They'll hate me for asking for money. No, no one's going to hate you for asking. It's just, you're not going to get it from me. That's the only thing. So, but I think that you're capable of getting it for yourself. Tom says, Robin, I see you easily as a psychologist. Oh, helping people is your forte. I suspect you may have thought about this before. I feel free to say this as a retired 65-year-old guy named Tom. Tom, you can say anything because my son's named Tommy and my late father was named Tom. So you could say anything. Listen, psychologist is something that people have said to me in the past. I'm too sensitive for it, I think. I'm a really sensitive person. So I think when people would tell me their struggles, I would like cry and hug them. So I have to be very mindful of that because I have to be mindful of how much of myself I give because, I'm a pretty sensitive person. So I need to figure out how I can use the things that I'm good at to serve others in addition to live streaming. I will never give up live streaming because I love this. This is free for anybody that wants to jump on, get their perspective read, their name, talk through emotions, reframing things in real time. I love this part of it. But I also have to find another way that I can do something that's fulfilling and allows me to use this to serve others on a bigger scale. So I'm working on that. I love that you said that, Tom. Thank you for that. Oh, Kenneth says, dear younger self, try everything and don't take yourself too seriously. Oh, that's such a beautiful one. Kenneth, try everything. Do you know that I only tried live streaming? It was a fluke. It was on another app. I was trying to sell journals and things that I believed in, which totally flopped. But through that experience, through that failure, as one might call it, I discovered that I love live streaming and that you can connect with people around the world through Wi-Fi, and actually care about them and actually have a connection with them and build a lasting relationship. Like I know you guys, I know, Tom's lovely Amanda. Like, how's Amanda, Tom? Imagine I know about your cat. I know about, Mr. Friend's parrot. I know about Lauren and her travels and her parents. Like I get to know you guys and you guys know about me and my family. So there's something very beautiful here that I would have never known. And I was 45 when I discovered live streaming, but you're right, Kenneth, try everything. I was 45 when I discovered live streaming, that it's easy. It's easy for me to live stream. I love talking about this stuff with people. How would I have known that? Hey, let me see here. Good morning and happy Saturday. Oh, look, Tom and Ojai are communicating. I love that. Thanks. I love that motivation. And don't take yourself too seriously. I love that Kenneth wrote that because I think that's a big one for people, especially when we're creating content, we're live streaming. Oftentimes my gray hair is showing when I'm live streaming. I don't have any eyelashes. I got some wrinkles. I'm going to be 46 this year. If we are trying to be perfect and we're trying to make it look like, hey, I have the best life ever, everything's perfect, listen to me, follow me. I think that's where that, oh my God, I always forget the name, that syndrome that people have where they feel fake. You feel fake. I think when we're honest with our flaws and our strengths, I think there's power there. I think there's power in admitting what your flaws are. I think there's power admitting what you're working on and also being comfortable in saying your strengths out loud, you know? So I think it's a really interesting balance of not taking yourself too seriously, being okay with making a mistake, not looking perfect. You don't have to have the perfect script, the perfect lighting, the perfect camera. Don't take yourself too seriously. I love that. Same here. What's the time over there? So I'm at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Ontario, Canada. Oh, look. Tom says I obtained my journal from Robin. Tom has a real journal that I was selling on Whatnot. He bought it for Amanda. And so again, Tom has something that I created temporarily. Again, like I've shared, it was very heavy. I'm mailing it from Canada. Like I basically lost money doing that, but it was something that I believed in. I was very passionate. I'm still very passionate about writing your hopes and dreams and goals and creating vision boards of the things that you want, because there's a place, there's something in the brain called the reticular activating system. And I did mention it in my guide, 14 Days to an Abundant Mindset. Once you learn that, you can like brainwash yourself. And I know people don't like the word brainwashing, but anytime you're scrolling and you're seeing things on repeat, it's actually having an imprint on your brain. And it is a form of brainwashing. I can bet you any money that the conversations you have and the things that you're thinking of are somewhat downstream from the content that you're watching. It's downstream. So if we can take that control and understanding and then use it to our favor, you can brainwash yourself to an abundant mindset, as I've done. And I'm still doing it, right? There's certain areas of limitations that I can sense I still have that I have to overcome. Hey, my cat's name is Kiwi. Beautiful. Tom, Amanda's at her grandmother's. Oh, Seamus is purring next to me. Hi, Seamus. Oh, so sweet. I'm so glad you're here, Tom. Cat lovers in the chat, baby. Yeah, cat lovers in the chat. Yeah, I love my cat. Oh, so much. That's beautiful. Tom says, Robin, since I talked with you last, I have obtained a lovely couch and a 2005 Town and Country minivan. Tom is mobile. Yay. Oh my God, Tom, you got that couch that you wanted and you got the car that you wanted. I love that. The journal had so many, yeah, decals and yeah, gizzets to paste around. The reticular is activated. Yes, Tom, I love that. I think it's so cool that you have that. And folks, you know what ended up happening later on is I did a live stream where I was journaling and creating like a vision board. And Tom brought out that same journal and did it with me. And we did a live stream together, vision boarding and creating this at the same time. It was really, really cool. Wow, you have 130 more subs than last time I was here. Yes, Tom. It's slowly building. It's slowly building this channel. And sometimes the numbers can make you feel like, oh, you know, but because I actually love this stuff, it's almost like therapeutic for me to do this because I need these reminders too. Like I lose sleep over worrying sometimes. I feel insecure when I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I have this huge problem that I have to solve. I don't know where to start. I feel defeated. My stomach hurts on Mondays when I wake up sometimes. Like I have all of that too. So I think it's really great that we have an outlet to say like, well, these are the thoughts that help me get through it. These are the things that I do when I'm in a negative repetitive thought loop. And we help each other kind of figure out through experiences and trial and error what's working and what can help us move past this scarcity mindset or this fearful mindset or this, you know, paralyzed by whatever it is that we're being paralyzed by. But it's growing slowly, and I'm trying not to look at the numbers and just know that, hey, this is a really good intention I have here, and there's some good work being done, and I'm just going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the process, but the numbers do. But the way you wrote it, look, I have 130 more subscribers than the last time you were here. I love that. Thank you for saying that. Tom, guess how old I am? Yeah, tell us. Oh, tell me where you live generally and what you do, and then I'll guess your age. Oh, wouldn't that be cool? I love that the people in the chat can communicate with each other because this community is very special. This YouTube community, it's a handful of really cool people that are always rooting for each other, which I think is very special. Sometimes in our lives and in our work, we're with people that we love or like, but the conversations are always about complaints and problems. What problems are going on in your life? What complaints do you have about work? What are you feeling overwhelmed about? And we tend to only talk about negative things. And I wanted a place where we could have meaningful conversations and share tips, advice, and quotes and ideas and concepts that help us feel energized and help us want to take action to change our lives and to feel that there's possibility, like possibility to change your life. If you don't like something in your life, you have the ability to change it. Really, imagine, because we all need those reminders. So I love that we can do this here. Tom says, oh yeah, or perhaps not. Okay, so yeah, if you're comfortable saying, Mississippi IT director. Oh look, Kenneth is saying, I'm an IT director, I live in Mississippi, let's guess how old we are, okay? I love that. 1 star, if you just tell us like I was gonna say province, but you guys call it states if you're America. Tell us generally where you live, we don't need the exact, and what you do for a living, and then Tom's gonna guess your age. Look, Tom says, I creatively visualize the couch and the car. Imagine. Tom, it was you that was telling me about visualization a while back. And again, it's something that I know is very valuable and I don't do enough of it. I don't do enough of it. I was actually telling my husband, oh, look, Tom says 28 years young. 28 years? I think that I was thinking about the type of things that I think about and the stories that I replay in my life. And I notice that my thoughts tend to consist of, people I already know, things I've already seen, things I've already done. And whenever I go to a new experience or try something new, it's like my thoughts get to evolve. There's another layer of thinking now. There's another new thing I get to think about because I've seen and done something new. So back to what Kenneth was saying, try everything. Like take a new route to walk to wherever it is you got to walk to next. Take a new route to drive. Read a different book. Go through the library. Like try as many new things as you can, even if you don't have any money. Go have a picnic with yourself in a new park that you've never been to. The more new experiences that we do, the more new thoughts we have, and then we can just evolve. But I think if we're always living that same life and just regurgitating the same thoughts over and over, it's not going to open up that new world of possibility for us. And that's one thing I'm noticing. I'm trying to say yes to more things and more opportunities because I see how much it evolves my thinking. Let's see. Ohar says, California, software engineer. Oh, wow. Nah, I'm old, Kenneth says. Tom says, engineer. I think California engineer 35. Let's see. Okay, Kenneth, hard to just guess. Yeah. This is so cool. I love that you guys are engaging in the chat like this, trying to guess each other's age. What do you do? It's so interesting, folks. Again, if there's something that you need to hear before we close this live stream, is there something that you want to put out into the universe? Oh, look, I'm actually almost your age, Tom. Wait, did Tom say his age? I don't know if he did. I think he was guessing Kenneth's age or yours, I'm not sure. But again, folks, if there is something that you need to hear, I had a couple affirmations here. One of them is, I'm allowed to evolve, reinvent myself, and begin again. You are allowed to evolve and reinvent yourself and begin again, even right now, even after this live stream. You don't have to be the same person you were when you logged in. You could be different. You could take a small, different, actionable step to be different. Oh, Lauren says, this has been such a nice stream today. Oh, and she gave me this. My other thing like this is in the office. I'll have to bring it out next time. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, yeah, I'm off, Robin. Thank you for being here. Oh, hi, 1 star. I'm glad you're here. We're grateful for your feedback and your input. It's always great to see new names, and obviously my favorite OGs. You guys are some of my favorite people, and like I shared before, I think live streaming will go down as like one of the top 5 things that I've done in my life in terms of bringing me joy. So thank you. 1 star, or Ohai says, have some work to do anyways. I'm putting it. Oh, you're putting on the notification bell. Yay, great, I'm glad. Remember, folks, believe in possibility, believe in the fact that you have everything you need to thrive. You really do. You have everything you need to thrive. You just got to remind yourself of that. And I promise you, you can literally transform your life using everything you already have if you'll just take some actionable steps. So I love that. Oh, yes, next time you're going to jump on the live. Great. Tom says, Tom is 65. My experiences, good and bad, have formed the person I am today. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to our lovely host. Yay. Thank you, folks. Again, this has been beautiful. I'm so glad to see your names here, and I can't wait for the next one. Let's put it out there, folks. All the good things we want and more are coming our way, and they're coming your way.